Aloha Hoopers! My name is Lisa SparkGirl of Hiptronic Arts, and in this video we're going to learn how to do wedgies. We're also going to talk about transitions into and out of this trick. First, let's talk about hoop sizing. You'll want something small and light. In this video, I'm using a 3/4 inch polypro at a 31 inch diameter. Your big, heavy beginner's hoop won't work for this one. Your hoop should be small enough to fit in between your legs and stand at about the height of your inseam. I would also like to take a moment to talk about the dangers of this trick. While you are practicing, it is likely that you will experience bruising on your inner thighs, so be careful. Especially if you have a gappy connection, the hoop might pinch your skin and actually leave you with like these little hula hoop picky things. And you also want to be careful because your hula hoop is going to be hitting the ground repeatedly, so if you're hooping on a hard surface like concrete or tile or even hardwood, it's likely that your hoop can crack if you're being too forceful. Alright, now let's get started. Take your hoop and put it between your legs. Then take your left foot and put it over into the hoop right next to your other foot. The hoop should be sandwiched right between the meaty part of your thighs. You don't want it so high that it's in the gap. Before we break it down, just take a few moments to watch what is happening in slow motion. Here's a helpful little exercise that breaks the move down into smaller, more manageable increments. You're going to start by kicking your left knee up so that it crosses your body and forces the hoop upwards. Then let the hoop fall right back down naturally and use your right leg to scooch the hoop back into place where you started. Then work up your speed so you've got a real-time wedgie. Let's take a closer look at the body mechanics. My right leg is staying mostly straight and doing a small stomp, while my left leg is doing a larger lift and the knee is crossing the body. It's also important to notice what's happening from the back. Notice how the hoop is pinned between the legs and against the calf. This creates a little rebound and a slingshot action that gives the hoop some extra momentum. And once you've got it figured out on one side, don't forget to try the other side. So this time we will be leading by putting our left foot inside of the hoop and kicking up with the right leg. Once you've got both sides mastered, you can work on the duck through. Building up enough speed and momentum is key. You can't do this with a wimpy wedgie. Also be careful of smacking yourself in the side of the head or the ear when you're going through the hoop. I like to work up a few wedges and then give the hoop one last powerful swing to get over the head while I bend over and duck through. Let's move on to transitions into the wedgie. This one's similar to the revolving door. So you're hooping, you're off body, I'm doing a fishtail right here. I'm leading with my right hand, and I'm going to have the hoop cross my body as I stick my left foot in and drop the hoop down between my legs. And let's see it one more time just for good measure. Now let's try one leg hooping into the wedgie. So here you are, hooping on your knees. You pull one leg out, and then just at the right moment, you're going to step that leg down while you use your other one to force it into place. Now here's the one we saw in the very beginning demo of the video. The hoop starts on the ground with your right toes looped underneath. You kick that foot up, loop that same leg through the hoop. Then it's going to hinge down behind you and nestle itself right in between your legs. And here it is again. can also approach wedgies from a backspin. So notice how I'm not doing this, an unflattering squat approach. Instead, I'm swinging my right leg over to get it into position. And for my favorite, getting into the wedgie from the reverse escalator. So here we are doing the reverse escalator, the hoop comes down, and then we scoop it up with the left leg and get it into position for a wedgie. So the hoop falls down and then it briefly hits the ground right before we scoop it back up. Now let's learn how to transition out of the wedgie. Here's a really simple one. So here we are, wedgie, 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 and then as the hoop comes down from my right side, I'm going to kick it off and grab it with my left hand. Now you're ready for some more off-body hooping. Now let's work on this sideways hinge transition. This is going to feel a lot like the duck through, but instead of letting the hoop fall back down into a wedgie on the other side, you're going to grab it with your hand and hinge it off. I usually like to go into a chest roll from here, but there are a lot of things you can do. You can also transition out of the wedgie by doing a full escalator up. So instead of hinging the hoop off of our body like we did last time, we're going to grab it and wrap, wrap, wrap around and up. Then if you want to be super fresh and fancy schmancy, you can drop it back down into the escalator down wedgie. And here's what that looks like all together now. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message or leave them in the comments. Until next time, a hui ho.